So just a quick guide on creating footstep sounds for a game. There are 4 components I normally look for when I'm trying to make these. I try and get the sound of a footstep, some element of equipment, keys, wallet, something that kind of jingles or moves as well, clot swipes and clot impacts. And the first port of call is to record these. So that's what we're going to do next. So once all the recordings are done, it's just a case of going through and editing. So making sure that you can see your audio, see the WAVs, see the individual files. You want a good level of detail on each of those. Then I would just zoom in and start to trim these out. Once I've chopped each of the footsteps, what I would do is I'd select the first one, and then I'm going to change the name, and I tend to do A, B, C. If I press right twice, it'll skip to the next one. You can see here it's gone yellow. Shift N again, do the same thing, and give each of them a really simple name. So A, B, C, D. And that's all of them named. Then I might go through and have a quick listen. So I might get rid of these 2 here. Once kind of happy with all of those, I just batch export. So file, export 18 regions as audio files, go onto my desktop, create create a new folder, call it Footsteps. Great. But I base it on region names. I don't care about custom name. I just drag the region name up here. So it's going to be example Footsteps A, Footstep B, C, D, E, A, so on and so forth. Export them all. And that's going to give me my first component for, it's going to be my first component for use in FMOD. I simply repeat the same process for each of the other sounds. So for the equipment sounds, for the clot impacts, for the clot swipes, I repeat the same process. Chopping those up and exporting them, and then I'll end up with a folder with each one of those individually. So I end up with this. I end up with my footsteps individually, my equipment sounds as individual sounds, and my clot sounds as individual sounds, and I'm ready to put those into FMOD. So here I am in FMOD. I'm going to create a new project. Then I'm going to create a new 2D event. I'm going to call it Footsteps. As I did 4 different elements, I'm going to create 4 tracks. I'm going to name each of them. So I'm going to have Footsteps. I'm going to have equipment. I'm then going to have my cloth impact and my cloth swipes. Then, as we did in class the other day, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag and drop to create multi-sounds. So I have all of my footstep sounds. I'm going to drag and drop onto the footstep audio folder, and it's going to create a multi-sound. It's set to shuffle, so it'll play through the sounds. Let me then add in my equipment and drag and drop that onto a second track and line those up. Then let me go to my clot impacts. Pop them on the track, and then lastly let me look at my clot swipes and put them on the last track. So now in FMOD, what we have to consider is when I press play, that's like when the footstep would be triggered. That's like when the Unity would trigger the sound. And if I hit enter, it's like it's returning back. So I can fake as if a character's taking footsteps here. Now some sounds are a little loud, so the swipes are probably a little loud. I can turn them down. My equipment is probably a little bit loud. Maybe my impact is a little bit quiet, so let me turn that up. And that gives me a nice approximation of a lot of different footstep sounds. Like we talked about during the last class as well, we can control click on our pitch, and we could add modulation. We could say randomize this, then set a small amount of pitch so they're also randomized. And that ups it even more. And they give us very basic walking sounds.